This week's declaration is I am royalty. It's one of the declarations that appears on our truth socks, on the bottom of the socks that are covered in crown. It says I am royalty. And you will have noticed in lots of the photos throughout this summer, we're wearing our crowns, and on the front of the I'm So Many Things camper van, there are crowns right above the windscreen. And you might say, why are they spending so much time wearing crowns? And it is because we are royalty. When we are adopted into God's family, when we give our lives to Jesus, when we're born again and receive our new creation identity, royalty is part of that. Romans 8:14 onwards says, "For those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. The Spirit you received does not make you slaves so that you live in fear again. Rather, the Spirit you received brought about your adoption to sonship. And by him we cry, Abba, Father." The Spirit himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children. Now, if we're children, then we are heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ, if indeed we share in his sufferings, in order that we may also share in his glory. So there are a couple of things here. One, we're adopted into God's family. So it's not something we earn. We are chosen by God. He adopts us. He welcomes us into his family. Secondly, we cry, Abba, Father. Abba is a really intimate way. It's a way of saying daddy. Can you imagine saying daddy to the King of Kings, to the God of the whole universe? That is what we gain access to when we live in the Spirit, when we live by Jesus. And that makes us royalty. We're grafted in. The Bible says that we are heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ. So God is the King of Kings. Jesus is the Son of God, and we get to sit alongside Jesus as co-heirs, inheriting all that Jesus inherits. The Bible says that as Jesus is, so are we in this world. I mean, it's absolutely extraordinary. We are grafted in to the family of God, to the very Trinity. So that is where this whole notion of royalty comes from. That is why we get to wear our crown. And I've been reflecting, what impact does it have that we remember we're royalty? And I've been thinking a bit about the royal family, but even, they pale in comparison because the royal family is nothing like the heavenly royal family. But some things about royalty is that we know we have authority. When we know we're children of God, we walk in our spiritual authority. We're leaders, we're nation changers, we're world shapers. Also, I thought that the royal family probably doesn't spend that much time getting worried about what people think about them on social media, because loads of people probably say loads of things all the time and they haven't got time. They know, well, hopefully they do, but they know who they are and they know their position and they don't need to defend or justify. But that is our inheritance as royal children of the King of Kings. We don't need to fight and defend ourselves in an orphan way, in a way that we're just alone in this world. We can rest in the fact that we're children, dearly beloved children of the King of Kings, adopted into his family and given an inheritance alongside Christ. So be encouraged today that you are royalty, you're a prince, you're a princess, and your Father is the King of Kings, the creator of the whole universe. Rest in the knowledge of that. Be encouraged, be inspired, stand tall, wear a crown if you've got one, make a crown if you haven't. We really wanted to include crowns in all of the True Identity courses, and that may still happen in the future, because as you go through the True Identity course, we want you to really rest in your royalty. So bless you this week to know you are royalty.